Well, Europe's debt crisis is very much back in focus today. Welcome back. I'm Mark Barton, live from London. Now, a key hurdle to cross today for European leaders. They'll be watching as Germany's top constitutional court rules on whether the Eurozone's biggest country can ratify the German Rescue Fund. The European Stability Mechanism is the €500 billion successor to the temporary bailout fund in use now. Now, since Germany is paying so much for it, its ratification is essential. If it doesn't happen, other bailout measures would be in jeopardy. Germany's in line to underwrite 27% of the fund. France, Italy and Spain are next in line. Combined, the Big Four would account for more than 3/4 of the paid-in capital. Our next guest is the European Chief Executive of Capco, a business that helps banks prepare for whatever the German court decides today. He's just put out a white paper called Eurozone or Euro None. Peter Schurau is with us today on Countdown. Peter, good morning, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Martin. First of all, let me congratulate you, the UK, for being such a great host for the Olympics and the Paralympic Games. I think you've done a fantastic job.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, Peter. It was an enjoyable month, for sure. I want to get on to matters closer to where you are. Firstly, the German Constitutional Court ruling. It's a big focus for investors across Europe today. Just talk us through what you think might happen at 9 a.m. German time.
Well, look, if I look at outside the window here in Frankfurt, it's pretty cloudy. I hope it's not a bad sign for the next 2 hours. We from Capco think it's a very important question as to what's going to happen in the next 2 hours as regards the ruling of the German Constitutional Court. However, the more relevant question to us as advisors to most of the financial service institutions in Europe is, are banks ready for whatever decision the Constitutional Court will take? It's almost like trading in the morning when you get up. You don't really know what's going to happen with the marketplace, yet you want to be ready. You want to have a plan in place to be protected in front of the markets.
And do banks have a plan in place? Are they ready for the outcome, Peter?
Well, at the end of the day, you want to make sure there's no surprises. You've got to protect your customers. And we believe there's been some history. There have been similar incidents. Think about the Y2K incident. Think about Argentina 10 years ago. Think about similar incidents where local currencies were converted into the euro. Yes, we believe from Capco that banks are ready, provided banks do have sufficient time to get ready. Obviously, depending on the business model that you currently operate in, complexity will grow with the complexity of the business. We believe, provided there is enough time, banks will cope with the challenges that lie ahead.
And ultimately here, Peter, we're talking about a possible Greek exit from the Eurozone. Do your clients in the financial services industry, are they actually thinking that Greece will ultimately leave the Eurozone?
Well, we all have a personal opinion as to what's going to happen, right? And we put a certain probability to the events that Greece will exit the euro. But Martin, this question is almost irrelevant. Even if there is a 20% likelihood that Greece will exit, and you might want to put any probability to it, you've got to be ready. You don't want to have surprises with your clients. If a client comes in the branch on Monday morning, they want to get the service they expect from a financial services institution.
One of the key issues of the white paper, Eurozone to Euro None, as you say, it's not about, are banks ready? Do they have contingency plans in place? It's actually about, do we have leadership in Europe? And what's your assessment on this issue, Peter? Because I know you've got big doubts.
Well, I could form a personal opinion, right? This is exactly what you said. People expect leadership no matter what direction this goes, and I think we have more events to come. It's not just the decision of the German Constitutional Court, which is going to happen in 2 hours. We've got the elections in Holland and many more barriers in our way. I strongly believe banks need to be ready. I think they will be ready no matter what the outcome is. And people do expect leadership, not only from politicians and the supervisory boards, the regulatory institutions. They do expect leadership from financial service institutions. They want plans in place no matter what the outcome is.
And just talk to me about the outcome, Peter. I mean, just on that issue, do you expect it to be ratified today, maybe with some conditions attached?
Well, we from Capco look into three areas as far as the plans are concerned, the contingency plans are concerned, right? Obviously, as I said earlier, the complexity of an operating model is pretty important. It affects IT systems, cash logistics, training of people. If you, as a customer, come into a branch Monday morning, you expect the service from a bank regardless of what the outcome is in the next 2 hours to come. If you ask my personal opinion, what I'm going to expect in the next 2 hours, like anyone else, I would expect the Constitutional Court agree with the ESM. They might want to put some conditions on it, but they're very conscious of the responsibility they have as it relates to the ESM and the currency of the euro.
Peter, thank you for joining us today. Peter Schurau there, European Chief Executive of Capco. Thank you for your time today, sir. Tackling China's slowdown. Premier Wen promises policy